Hey, yo.
Back hero.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters hero. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gon' dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Sentakyu. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.
Bruh, yeah, like they have like the
Those
little like
pickle chips slap.
the pickle chips,
I
bro.
love
Like
those.
that's what I get now because only other option is here. Have this beer battered hot dog dipped in fucking cheese sauce. You fat pig. Here, open up, motherfucker. You fat bitch. I don't care if you're trying to lose weight. You motherfucking.
Hey, here, have this. It's a turkey leg, but it's been
We dipped it in candy.
It's been smoked in chocolate syrup.
And then we put sprinkles on top like a fucking ice cream cone. Here, you fat motherfucker. Tastes good, doesn't it? You bitch.
Oh man.
I don't care that you just ran 3 miles today and you worked out. Here,
Yeah,
throw all that shit away.
Rotisserie ice cream cake.
And also we'll be serving continental waffles next to the fucking soft serve so you can put them on top. You motherfucker.
Hey man, that was my go-to breakfast. And yo, what was I just saw some NBA player or NFL player that said that they put ice cream on a burger from McDonald's.
Bro, what the fuck?
I don't remember. I just saw it this morning. Some NFL or NBA player, don't remember. They put a McFlurry ice cream on a cheeseburger.
Jesus Christ, man. Niggas is down. Down. Well, I mean, I guess if you're an NFL player and you got infinite metabolism, you can do whatever you want.
Humanity is down bad.
Bruh.
Why don't you just dip your chicken nuggets in melted peppermint candy?
Bruh. That nigga said we're serving pizza with donuts instead of pepperoni.
Pepperonis. Are you recording?
I just started. That'll be great.
That's,
That'll be a great
hilarious.
random non sequitur for folks to turn on.
Hilarious conversation. Dog. Oh, I miss those days being a college athlete, eating completely irrationally stupid because
Bruh.
it was free. In the
So
cafeteria.
here's a funny ass story because I mentioned that I went back to Oberlin.
Oh yeah, I was.
It
when
was
you
dope.
Went up there with
It
your
was-
nephew, right?
It was super dope, man. My nephew was singing.
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Did your nephew go there because of you, or or was it like a coincidence and you were like, oh hey?
No, I mean I don't know if he went there because of me, but
You
definitely
definitely played a
for
part
sure.
in it,
Yeah. He knew I went there. He like was interested in it because of like what I had told him about it and like decided to pursue it. But he's a different kid. I mean, we're very similar, obviously, but like he's living a different life than I did because like one, like I was an athlete. It's similar, but not because he does. He's in the he's in the Obertones, which is the a cappella group on campus. So he's
wow, that's actually kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's cool. He had that nigga. He when I went to visit, they were putting on a concert, and he had a Thriller solo.
Dog, wait, so he's like an a cappella singer?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I was gonna say, so he can like sing.
He's not like a R&B like I'm about to hit a bunch of runs. But yeah, like he's got a good
group. Yeah,
he's got a good tone.
Like different roles, and they have
he's got a good tone.
Impressive.
They tried. He had to kind of get outside himself a little bit for the Michael Jackson solo, but that nigga had his little chest out, bro. He had his shirt open, and was out there being Michael Jackson. I never see. I mean, that's my nephew, who's like, you know
boy.
him. Yeah, you know him since he was like a baby. I've never seen him do anything with personality ever until now.
Involving personality.
Right.
He's been acting too cool for so long.
Bruh, yes. Oh, that's my other nephew.
As teenagers do.
Man, my other nephew.
Right.
God. Who you met? I think you met them both.
But I met. I know one of them.
The one that hoops.
Over here hooping,
yeah. He's way too cool for like anything, bro. Anyway, so I was there, and my nephew kind of got on my nerves because he's at that age where they never respond to text, and I'm like, and I was staying at a hotel like kind of not that close, so I'm like, all right,
respond to text, what? Sorry, I'm terrible at that. So.
you have your moments. But like so I'm like, bro, like I remember when I was here, my favorite thing to do on a Saturday morning, and this is a Saturday morning, is go to Stevie, which is the dining hall, Stevenson dining hall, get me an omelet and get a waffle. I'm here. This is like maybe the only time I'll ever be able to do this again. Like, get your ass up so we can go do this shit. And of course, like I tried to call him. He like sent me the voicemail, which to me means he probably was asleep and just like nah. And I texted him a bunch of times, and I was like, you know what, bro? I'm finna just go by myself. And my grown ass walked into the college dining hall by myself, and I paid $10. It was like, look, bro, I'm here for parents visiting weekend. My whole ass nephew is asleep still. I love him, but he's asleep, and I'm about to leave tomorrow. So like, what's up, bro? I used to go here. Like, I have this whole like routine that I used to do. Let me give y'all some doll hairs, because they're technically not supposed to let you come in unless you have your student with you. I was like, bro, just let me get in that motherfucker right quick, bro.
They let you. I was gonna say, don't be that guy.
Yeah, bro, they let me slide.
Don't be a cop.
Bro. Yeah, don't be a cop, dog. They let me slide, bro. I went in and they didn't have the waffle machine, but they did have the omelet. That shit slapped, bro.
What's like the craziest, like, okay, so for example, when I already told the story, like when I was in college, we used to make waffles on the waffle machine, and then we used to put vanilla ice cream on top of the waffles needed. But outside of that, the worst thing I ate ever that I probably tried was I'm not joking. I put chocolate syrup on an omelet and ate it when I was in college.
So I was not brave like that. I didn't experiment like that, bro. I kept it super vanilla. I did bacon, ham, cheese, and onions. If I was feeling really adventurous, I would go as far as like green onions or green peppers and onions, which is like super tame for an omelet. Yeah. But I will say my weirdest habit, and I got this from my guy Hal. We had a guy Hal on our team. I forgot his last name, but he was cool as hell. He used to do this thing where he was trying to get more. I think I might have told this story. He was trying to get more greens in his diet. So, and he didn't like salads. So like he would get his normal meal and just get like a literal handful of raw cabbage, ball it up into a ball, and just eat it. Like, just take it like it's a medicine pill. And I was like, you know what, bro? I also don't like salad, and that's a good idea.
Just treat it like it's a
supplement. It's a pill, bro. It's just a supplement. And you know what? As an adult, man, we've had this conversation offline. I don't like salads, and I'm tired of pretending like I do. Which is not to say that I don't like vegetables. I actually really love vegetables. Like I love like some greens, some kale, like cooked kale greens, some broccoli, yeah, I am a bit like anytime I get, Thanksgiving or whatever, like I pile up the greens. I like vegetables, but I don't like raw vegetables. I don't like salad. I don't like lettuce on my like sandwiches or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like
I'm a big salad person. Sorry.
A lot of people are. If I like salads more, I probably would be in better shape. But they're just not for me, bro. I would much rather just have some vegetables separately. And also like, and I already know I'm about to piss you off with this too. If you're putting meat in your salad, just eat the meat and like just have chicken and have vegetables.
I like.
What are we doing?
I like to put chicken in my salad.
That's fine, but let's stop pretending it is healthy. Because it's just chicken. And you're just eating. It's no healthier than just having some chicken and having your greens on the side.
Yeah, but I don't eat it because of that. I eat it because I like.
If you like it
with chicken.
If you like it,
it's not like it's not like a.
The people who are trying to act like
I'm not trying to be like, oh, like this is healthier than.
And then I'm
going to
put ranch and blue cheese dressing on it. So literally, you're just having a cheeseburger essentially. Like it's just with extra lettuce and no bread. Is basically what that is.
So I actually don't. So I do for salad dressing. I do like I do this thing where I take like a little bit of like olive oil and then I put lemon juice in it and then you should try it.
No,
I know you don't eat salad, but people who are listening to actually eat salad, like
I know what you're talking about.
This is fire. I just do.
It's like a Mediterranean thing, right?
Yeah, I just put a little bit of olive oil, lemon juice, and I like season the concoction a little bit, and then I just mix it all into that. It's fire. I don't even use salad dressing. I've been doing that for like a few years. It's really good.
I mean, what you've described is not that different than what like balsamic dressing.
Yeah, kind of similar. Yeah. It's not, but it's not so thick though. You know what I mean? It'll end up being like pretty. It's good. I like it. Anyways, there's a opening of random talk about food.
Yeah.
But episode 169. Haha, 69.
Right. Pause. They get on my fucking nerves. You been watching that Cam and May shit?
No. What is that? Come on, you guys know I don't know anything.
Cameron and Mace have a podcast or like a sports show, and they just like it's basically just a hood take factory. It's like worse.
A hood take factory.
It's like worse Shannon Sharp, or like the Uncle Shannon Twitter account. It's basically just that, except two people doing it. It's really not. I mean, it's. A lot of people our age like it because we are like the aging hip hop generation that hates the way hip hop is going now. So like we just rage against everything.
That's facts.
And we're also super homophobic. So like literally anytime anybody says anything, them niggas they say pause literally like every 10 seconds, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Like they can't have a conversation without like saying pause.
That's that meme with that kid with the vein coming out of his head.
Like, bro.
Trying not to say it.
What are we talking about?
Gosh. I
had to call one of my OGs that went to Cranbrook. One of like the guys who he's like much older than me, but like we're in like a similar like alumni group, and I had to call him out like, bro, like we were talking. He had a very typical OG take, which was, and a lot of people feel this way, but I have a particular take about it, like where folks are like, man, I hate the NBA because soft and blah, 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 blah. All they do is shoot threes.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch college than the NBA.
Right.
That's a super common take, but it's just such a OG. It's like a default OG opinion. And I'll tell y'all the truth, bro. College basketball's not that good. It's all like college basketball is super fun during March Madness, but like the quality of the basketball that they play, I don't care how hard they play, bro. They be up there like chucking air balls. They're just not. It's just not that. Of course, there are going to be the blue bloods, the Dukes, the Carolinas, the Kansases, the Kentuckys, but most of the games are like Southern Valley State versus fucking Uncle Meemaw's community college. And it's just shitty basketball, bro.
71-68 Mimos.
All right, like that's just not like I don't care how hard they're playing, bro. The players aren't that. It's just the quality of basketball is poor.
And here comes Spencer Andretti for Mimos. Spencer Andretti. Right. Yo, that actually kind of sounds like an athlete name.
Yeah, he probably fast as hell, I bet. And they're running their typical four corner passing where they wait to the last second and heave an air ball three. This is good basketball, guys. Of course, this team is all white. They're playing against Southern Georgia State with all the niggers. And the nigger ball, all they do is run fast breaks and miss layups and miss dunks. This is good. At least they play hard defense. Oh, fuck out of here, bro. Anyways, I had to call him out because in his rebuttal, he was like, yeah, but they play harder. Pause. Like, bro, what?
That's kind of, that's kind of like the, I would put that in the same bin as people who say that people in the NBA don't play defense. You know how if somebody's a good offensive player, people just kind of like, he doesn't play defense. Where? Yeah. Where are you getting that from?
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Ask Kate Cunningham if they play defense in the NBA.
You know what I'm saying?
That nigga be getting quadruple teams. Because nobody respects his teammates. So just, hey, man, them niggas weak. Just guard him. That's literally what they be doing, bro. Like,
man's be getting blitzed off the ball screen.
Bruh. His teammates be wide open. And, like, he be trying to pass it, but like, what do you want me to do? I'm getting the entire starting five is checking me right now. Y'all niggas is just like, anyways, I don't want to talk about the Pistons right now.
Oh, man. Hilarious.
But yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Episode 169. But yeah, man, what are you into currently, my friend?
A couple of quick things. What am I into? I started playing Yakuza again. That's might be going up my list as like one of my favorite series.
Hey.
It's just a really good everything.
Those games are crazy.
They are insane, but the story is low key like good too.
And they have good wrestling Easter eggs.
Bruh, oh my god, man. They have like the whole in New Japan roster, like
love
as cameos.
So cool.
Which is cool. The other thing that I'm into, bro, I already kind of gave the spoiler sort of outcome of this in the chat. But for y'all who aren't in our Discord, bro, I had a very interesting experience. You haven't heard this story. You just saw what I put in the Discord, but you actually have not heard the story.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Bruh.
Oh, boy.
This was a insane story. Your boy had a close encounter, dog.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to tell you straight up, bro. There were 5 whole minutes where you could not tell me that first contact wasn't imminent. And when I say imminent, I mean it's happening now, today. So Pete, bro. And some backstory. I come from a long line of crazy ass motherfuckers who swear they saw UFOs.
Right.
My mom had an experience when she was younger where she said she saw something that was like a circular thing with lights and it fucking darted off into space at like warp speed. She saw this at like when she was like 16 or 17. A long ass time ago, and the reason why I believe her is because she literally didn't say anything to anyone about it for like 40 years.
That's crazy.
Like just was like stunned into silence and didn't say anything about it for decades.
Wow.
I got an uncle who was in the military that said he seen a whole bunch of crazy ass shit. You know, I got all kind of people in my family. So I'm like big into Star Trek and Star Wars. So I've always been like, hey, I'm gonna see a UFO one day. I took like a UFO class when I was in college. Like I've always been a guy who like had his eyes in the sky. Like, all right, like let me see what's out there.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. I'm getting Thai food. And I put in my order and I go to the gas station to get some water. And on the way back, I see something because at first I thought it was something else, so I didn't really pay it any attention, and I'll describe what I saw later. But so when I actually got out into the street, and for Detroiters, I'm like on John R. and like 9 Mile, so like just north of Detroit. And I see something. I thought it was something different, so I didn't pay it any attention. So I turned out onto 9 Mile to go back to the Thai food restaurant. And I noticed that what I thought I saw wasn't above me, like above my car. I thought it was just something like hanging over my car. It was out in the sky. And I was like, hold on a minute, bro. Like, what the fuck is that, nigga? So like I did what my mom at this point, and I wasn't far away from the Thai, so I got close to the Thai food spot, and I literally did what my mom did, which was turn off the fucking car and I got out of the car.
Word.
I got out of the car and start looking at that motherfucker like, bro, what am I looking at right now? So again, a person who like me, who's been on this UFO quest for my whole life, always looking into the sky, I have a Rolodex of like debunking theories that I go through to make sure that I'm not crazy, right? So like, it's not a plane, it's not a helicopter, it's not fucking swamp gas or whatever they said on Men in Black. Like, so I'm getting down to the bottom of my list, and I'm like, bruh, like, my usual suspects are not covering here, bro.
Not being validated right now.
So like, I'm still alive, and I'm at the bottom of my list. So then I started thinking like, bro, is it like a chemtrail or like a jet fucking stream?
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is like, it's not smoke, it's light. So I'm like, I got nothing now. Now I got nothing, bro. I have nothing to describe what I'm looking at right now. So then it starts to get real. Like, holy shit, bro. Is this the moment? I literally sent a text to a loved one like, hey, are you okay? Like that type of shit. And
when you sent that text, did you say what you were?
No, I didn't give any context. I just said, "Are you okay?" I didn't say anything. So then I start to panic a little bit, bro. Like, I'm looking at this thing, and I think to myself, like, I can't debunk what I'm seeing right now. So this is showtime, boys. This is showtime, fellas. Like, we're here now. So one of two things is gonna happen, bro. Like, either we're all gonna go extinct tomorrow, or we're all gonna join the Starfleet Federation in the next year. Either way, let's get it popping, bro. Like, I literally had that thought for a split second. Then like the panic part sets in, and I'm like, bro, our entire like civilization is about to collapse right now. Like, this is really going through my mind. Our entire civilization is like, fuck going to work tomorrow, bro. Our entire civilization is about to collapse today.
This is wild.
Like, what the fuck is going on? And then, so that once that thought hit, then I kind of started freaking out a little bit. So mind you, I'm out of the car right now, and I'm like, I'm out of the car.
So while this is all happening, does anybody else?
So that's the thing. I'm out of the car, and the parking lot is not super full, but there's
people that are like, they see what you're seeing.
No, that's the thing, bro. Nobody else saw. Nobody.
Oh, wow.
So like, we made the Netflix movie, like Don't Look Up, right? Mm-hmm. That whole thing about the asteroid that nobody saw coming. Like, nobody was fucking looking up. Nobody fucking was paying any attention.
That's crazy.
And that started freaking me out anymore. So then I'm like starting to panic, bro. I'm literally out of the car, and there's definitely 2 or 3 people in the parking lot who,
like this situation would be like a brilliant like short film that was like 7 minutes long.
And like no words.
Yeah, and you're just like freaking out, intense music, and then it's just nothing, and you're just like,
all right. Well, so now it's starting to get intense. I'm freaking out, and there's people in the parking lot who are trying their best not to notice me, but I'm stuck because at this point I'm pacing, bro. Like, I'm looking up into the sky. I'm like pacing back and forth. Yeah. Like, I'm like, man, I'm like, bro, like, there was one point where because the Thai food place is a really tiny building. I swear to God, I'm not making this up, bro. There was one point where I was like hiding behind the building. I was like hiding behind the building, like making sure that shit was still out. Peeked out the side, like, bro, that shit's still there, bro. Like, holy shit, bro. And so then it started to fade away, right? It started to fade. So I went back around the building, then I came back and then it like I could see that it was like gone. And now I'm like, bruh, am I losing my mind, bro? Am I losing my mind? Because my mind, dog. And at this point I remember, because people are like, there are definitely people that are coming out of the restaurant, and I have devolved into a full on crazy person at this point, and they're like trying to ignore me, like I'm like a menace to society. I'm like an untouchable, like a crazy person that you just try to shun and ignore. Like that's where, which we shouldn't do, but that's how people were treating me. Like they were like trying not to look at me because I'm like fucking like pacing, like bruh. I almost asked one lady like, "Yo, do you see that shit?" But then I would have been like, "Okay."
She'd have hit you with her purse.
She would have called the fucking cops. Like, "Yo, this big black nigga is going crazy."
There's a crazy black man.
Right, bro. So I remember the panic is starting to, like, I'm regaining control, right? So I remember that, I got food in here. And nobody else seems to be worried about this. So, like, I need to maintain some sort of control here. So I'll go in, I sit down, and of course, nobody in the restaurant gives a single fuck. Like, nobody has noticed anything. Now I'm starting to think to myself, bro, did I hallucinate that whole thing? Because if that's the case, like, that's never happened to me before. Like, I've never fainted. Like, I've never been a person that's had, like, dissociation from reality. Yeah. That's never been a thing. So if that's happening now, like, there's something wrong, right?
Word up.
So I need to solve this problem. I need to make sure that what I saw actually happened. So I get on Twitter, and I didn't have enough, and I'm going to explain what I saw in a second, but I didn't have enough data to accurately describe what I was seeing.
Experiencing, yeah.
So all I did was I just put in, quote, "in the sky," right? And I put the results to be like nearby.
That's
right?
actually a very smart way of figuring it out.
Just to see like did anybody else see some weird shit in the sky? Lo and behold, a few people did. So I'm like, okay, at least I'm not crazy. That's a plus. But there's still an impending alien invasion happening. So like that's the original problem that we still need to solve. That's bad. One of the quotes in one of the tweets was hilarious. One of the tweets was, "Hey, me and my bitch just seen something in the sky." Swear to God, that was one of the tweets.
Come on, man.
So all of this is happening while I'm waiting for my food, dude. That
was it?
Bruh.
That tweet was mad vague, though.
Yeah, it was just that. Me and my bitch just seen something in the sky. Like that, like why would you tweet about that? Why is that news?
And
so mind you, this entire episode from start to finish took place in about 6 minutes.
That tweet sounds angry too.
It was all caps, of course it was. It was all caps. So I start to go. I continue to go through Facebook or through Twitter. And I'm starting to see more and more people see what I saw, but it's like as far away as like Chicago and like
that's so
Nebraska.
weird.
And I'm like, bruh, this is not helping me, bro. So now instead of one big alien ship, we got a fleet of fucking Independence Day Johns like en route, nigga. And it's like over the whole United States. So like where's Will Smith? Where's Captain Heller at, bro? Nigga, welcome to Earth, bro. Like, call that nigga right now, because David, like,
Independence Day is a great movie.
Yeah, great. So like more and more, and then I start to see a keyword keep popping up: satellite, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now I've told you I've been doing this staring in the sky thing for my whole life. I know how to recognize a satellite. I used to see the ISS. I mean, I didn't see it all the time, but I've seen it before, and I know what it looks like. I know how to spot a satellite. A satellite, basically, if you see a star, it's like it doesn't blink, it doesn't, the light is consistent, and it's moving in like an arc pattern, and it's moving pretty fast. It's 9 times out of 10 that's a satellite. This wasn't that. So I'm like, y'all niggas tripping, bro. Like, y'all like are coping harder than I am right now, because that shit was not a satellite, bro. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. And mind you, it had already dissipated whatever it was, so I couldn't take a picture.
Yeah.
So I keep seeing satellite, and then I start to see another detail about the satellite that changed my perspective on it. You got a question?
Did anybody, when you were looking on Twitter, did anybody have any pictures?
Not yet.
Okay.
But once I put in this other search term, that's when the pictures came in. So I started seeing Starlink satellite, Starlink satellite, Starlink satellite, Starlink satellite. Then I'm like, I've never heard of that. What the fuck is that? So when I typed that into Google and into Twitter, I started seeing pictures, and I was like,
that's what you saw.
That's exactly what I saw, bro. So now I'm like, all right, bet. We're not all going to die. And then I'm also like, fuck, we also aren't going to join Starfleet either. So I'm going to find for y'all real quick. I'm going to put it on.
So what is that? Because I don't know what that is.
I actually am not sure.
Shout out to Starlink. That was the first game I ever played on Nintendo Switch. The game was awesome.
The Starfleet boy, or the
had Star Fox in it.
Yeah, Star Fox.
That game was really dope.
Starlink satellites. So I'll just invite y'all to look at it on your own, because I don't feel like setting it up on the screen share. I'll put a picture, but here, look at this video. This is what I saw. If you can see this.
Oh no, yeah, I would have.
Can you imagine seeing that shit?
Probably did the same thing you was doing. That looked like a.
It looks like a.
That looked like a beam.
Right, like a fucking data stream or something,
Yeah.
bro. Like, or like a fucking nuclear whatever.
Yo, that's wild.
Here's a good one right here. Cause bro, it's a string of lights, right? But they were like moving, dog. It looked like a data stream going into space.
That's crazy.
I seen that shit and I was like, bruh, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Yo, that's wild.
So here, this is apparently, okay, so I'm reading here, Starlink is not in space. It's a series of high balloon satellites. They aren't technically in space. If you say so, bro, because yeah, them bitches they were being seen all over the Midwest.
Right.
So yeah, bro, that's what I saw. It was fucking weird.
The hell is that?
Yep. And it was like, look at how the lights are like moving and blinking and shit like that.
Nah, bro, that looks like some extraterrestrial.
I've never seen
business.
anything like this in my life.
Yes. My thoughts exactly, brother. My thoughts exactly. It would have been.
Dog, does that sound like a scared kid?
They look like they have blue lights on them.
I didn't see the blue lights. For me, they were like orange almost. But bro, like, it would have been less weird if it was more easily identifiable as a UFO, like something that looks like what we would think a UFO is supposed to look like.
Yeah, like there's like mad uncertainty. Like, what is that?
This could be this could be a missile attack. This could be a fucking nuke heading our way. This could be like some sort of laser beam from God knows where. It could be like, are we testing some sort of like high tech shit that we don't know how to fucking do it, and it breaks and like rips a hole in space time? Like, bro, like, what are we doing here?
Oh my!
Somebody call the Avengers. Figure this shit out. So, anyways, yeah, first contact. It was on its way, but here we go. Boom.
That is great. I love that. That is amazing.
I called Edmund and told him this story too. He was obviously cracking up.
Very funny. I finally watched that. So I have been. Well, one, I'm coaching a high school team for the first time, and been doing tryouts, and today was the last day. So I am gonna, I've been coaching a AU team for years, my son's team, but now I'm testing out to see how I like working with in the school. So we'll see how this goes. But I finally watched Children of Men. This is a movie that you have been telling me to watch for years. Nick, shout out to my homie Nick. Me and him do that film challenge with each other where we give each other movies to watch, and that movie is amazing. I watched it. It is, man. It's great. It's got some of the really, really, really amazing camera work.
$5.
Some really amazing camera work, and just a really unique story, great acting, and it's just kind of this film that specializes in those single shot, long single shot, no camera cut scenes. It has a couple that are all time, that are kind of some of the best that you'll ever see in terms of those types of camera shots and scenes. It's a dope movie, man. If you have never seen Children of Men, definitely watch it. It's about this. It takes place, in a world where children have stopped being born. Humanity has stopped producing babies, and there's like this scene in the beginning of the movie where the youngest human dies, and it's kind of like really depressing because the youngest person in the world, and it was known by everybody because he was the last person that was born. You know what I mean? And there's a woman who's pregnant, and the movie is just about this I guess what would you call it? Maybe like a sort of I guess like a freedom organization.
Yeah, like a sort of a revolutionary group.
Kind of a rebel group. They want to escort this woman, to safety with this baby and make sure she has the baby. It's a really, really good movie, and people are also crazy. And it just really shows humanity and what humanity does at their lowest point.
Also, did you know, I bet you this will probably surprise you, the white woman who, I forget the character's name, but kind of the bigger, older white woman.
I know you're talking about.
That's the Trunchbull.
That was Trunchbull from Matilda.
Yep.
Wow, it is. That's crazy.
Yep.
Much too good for children.
Also, Chiwetel Ejiofor was acting his ass off.
Yes,
bro. That
great movie.
Threw his ass out the window immediately in that movie.
So there's an insane scene in the beginning where it's like complete silence and there's just a bomb that goes off.
Ugh.
And I rewound it because I was kind of doing some stuff when I first started the movie before I sat down to watch it, and then that happened. It just scared the crap out of me, so I had to rewind it and watch it again from the beginning. Shout out to Trunchbull, man. She was kind of out here like killing children. Maybe
She was flat out murder.
The chokey.
Yeah,
That's
chokey,
like
bro.
Spikes in it.
The chokey. It's called the chokey.
Bro, she threw a kid over a fence.
By the pigtails.
Goodness. Spiked fence, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ew. That movie does have the best chocolate cake ever. All right, man. Quick wrestling recap as we always do. So on AEW, they announced that at the next Wembley show, they're going to do the Continental Classic, which is going to be like look, if there's one thing in pro wrestling that I love more than anything, it's a tournament, bro. I love when wrestling is presented as a contest of sport between athletes. I love it. I love tournaments. G1 is my absolute favorite. That's the tournament that takes place in New Japan every year. This has a lot of potential to be really dope. There's going to be 12 wrestlers. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to draft 12 wrestlers.
Hey, okay.
We're going to go back and forth. We're going to draft 12 wrestlers that we want to be in this tournament. I will give you the first pick. If you got the first pick and it has to be all AEW people, let's say it's got to be all AEW and there is no, I guess, venturing outside of AEW, so no Will Ospreay because he's not signed AEW, no New Japan guys. Let's keep it AEW and also what would you want from a tournament like that? Would you just want it to be just 12 just best, or would you want this to be something where like let's showcase some of these guys that aren't getting the look that they should get, because AEW frustrates me with that a lot. They have an insane roster, but it's always the same people that are kind of you know what I mean.
I think it
So
should be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I would be interested in it being both. There's some people who are dope, but that I would not want to see in something like this because I'm just kind of seeing them a lot.
Much.
Yeah.
So this is for the international. This is for Orange Cassidy's belt.
I don't think it's for a title. I think this is going to be something where the winner would maybe get guaranteed like a main event spot at a big pay-per-view or something for the title, something like that. Okay. I believe they're gonna treat it like G1.
Gotcha. All right, so in that case, I'm gonna switch my number one pick because I think I know who yours would be. I'm gonna go with Orange Cassidy.
Hey, Orange Cassidy, number one off top. I like that pick. I'm going to just go ahead and get this one out of the way. This guy is already confirmed. He was the first wrestler confirmed for it. But, I mean, what are we doing here? I'm going to take Bryan Danielson. I love Bryan Danielson, man. Like, I was really, when I was watching that match he had with Swerve, right? So he already had the amazing match with Zack Sabre Jr. Mm-hmm. That's, like, already one of my favorite matches of the year. But he wrestled Swerve, and that match was really dope. But you know what I was thinking when I was watching? I was like, I don't know if there's another wrestler right now, maybe outside of Kenny Omega, where I'm just so happy when I watch Bryan Danielson wrestle. Like he's just the everything I love in the wrestling that I like. He is definitely gotta be he's gotta be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Like I really love Bryan Danielson, but I would take Bryan Danielson here. Who is coming off next that you won in this tournament? We're at 2, and there's gonna be 12 wrestlers. I'm surprised you didn't go with Swerve Strickland, so I'm gonna go with Swerve. Hey, Swerve, great, love Swerve. I think he needs to be a world champion. Come on, Tony Khan, what are we doing?
Agreed.
Hey, don't tell me I booked my company, all right?
I mean, it's gotta be, bro.
Tony Khan sleeps with his eyes open. Swerve's a great pick. I'm gonna be boring again. I'm gonna go Kenny Omega, of course, obviously. We've never got the Kenny Omega Danielson rematch. I think that if we're gonna get it for this would be incredible. So it doesn't have to be that's the thing. It doesn't have to be the finals though. It could be
anywhere.
Because it could be maybe the semifinal, right? And then one goes to the final, but then that next person at the wrestling is like a good kind of fresh face like Swerve or something in the finals. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think it would be dope. So Kenny Omega, best spot machine.
Next one, Pac.
Hey, yo, I would love that. Oh my goodness, and it would be at Wembley too. And Pac's from
that's why
the UK. That would be incredible. Pac's amazing. Haven't seen him in forever. I think he's been hurt.
Yeah.
But if he were to come back, definitely would need to see him in this one. So next wrestler I'm gonna pick is gonna be Malachi Black. I love Malachi Black. Love House of Black. Tired of seeing them be like a lore character. Get this dude in the ring.
I don't think he has a singles match in AEW.
He does. Like he was doing a lot of singles. Remember, he was doing all that stuff with Cody Rhodes when he first came.
Oh yeah, it's facts.
But it's literally been that long.
Not in this year though.
No, he needs what did we like? Malachi Black has the look. He's incredibly talented character wise and in the ring. And he's it. I don't understand why we're not doing more with this guy as a singles wrestler. He's incredible. So Malachi Black would be my next one. Number 7. Who are you putting in the Continental Classic?
Konosuke Takeshita.
I like that one too. That's another good one. Takeshita's dope, man, and obviously would love to see him in this. So we're at 7. Oh, see this. So we're at 7. This is where I don't really want to see John Moxley. I don't want to see Chris Jericho. I don't want to see. You know what I mean? I want to see. Again, like some of these guys that we're not getting a lot of. So the next person that I'm gonna put in this tournament is gonna be Bandito. Nice. I love Bandito. Haven't seen him in forever in AEW. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what's going on. I know he signed a deal. Bandito is amazing. Would love to see him in something like this. That's 8.
Agreed. Yeah. So now we're kind of in the territory of the regular. So here, let's go somewhere that's someone that's not a regular. Well, okay. Let's go with someone who is a regular but in a different role. How about Max Caster?
That's very interesting. I think that's cool. I think doing something like that. I think it's always dope when a tag team wrestler kind of does some single stuff like FTR was doing that last year. I like that. That was dope. Nick Jackson singles matches are always fire. Pentagon and Phoenix when they wrestle separately, it's always dope. So I like that.
Like
too.
I would love to see both parties of the Acclaimed go the route of FTR, where like they're a tag team, but both of them are also respected singles.
Yeah, because they both can wrestle. So that would be dope. We're at 9, so number 10. I'm gonna go ahead. 10. Let's see here. So there's a lot of people left that I really like, and that I would love to see in this. But again, I kind of want to pick somebody that's underrated. So I'm gonna pick Trent Beretta. I love Trent.
Yes, sir.
I think Trent is really dope in the ring. I mean, Orange Cassidy being in it as well. You could do, a match maybe where they wrestle each other would be dope. But I love Trent Beretta. Wish he would get more of a look. And I'm going to go Trent Beretta here. Boom. We got 10. We got 2 more spots.
Man, okay. So let's go with a young dog who's super talented, who don't never get on the show ever. So I'm going to give a couple honorable mentions. Shout out to Eddie Kingston, who is now the Ring of Honor champion.
Yep.
I didn't see how that happened, so I have to go back and watch that.
He had a fire match with Claudio. It was
nice. Oh, that's like a long payoff.
Yeah, it is.
That's
from their beef.
Yeah, from like years ago. Yeah. Shout out to Powerhouse Hobbs. I would love to see him there. I think he's going to get his push, though. Person who I don't think is going to get a push yet, so I'm going to do it for them, who is also black and also super fucking dope. Lee Moriarty, bro.
Hey, I like that. I like that. Lee Moriarty is a good wrestler, technical too, type of wrestling that I like.
Yeah.
I actually really love that pick. That's dope. Same. I got some honorable mentions, like some people, like you said, Hobbs. I think Hobbs is gonna get his. I really like him.
Also, shout out to Ricky Starks as well.
Yep. Hobbs is dope. Like Miro, obviously, Small Joe, Andrade, like all these dope wrestlers. But another wrestler that I like, again, that I haven't seen around that I think would be dope. And considering the people that are in this, I want to see Johnny TV, man. That's John Morrison. He is technically in AEW, hasn't literally done anything. This dude is a great wrestler. He's an amazing athlete. And if we do a tournament like this, that's somebody that I would want to see have matches with Kenny Omega, have a match with Pac, have a match with Swerve, have a match with Danielson, have a match with Malachi Black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually going to pick him to be that 12th spot. So boom. Just kind of off the top of the head, picking 12 wrestlers for the Continental Classic, keeping it interesting. Orange Cassidy, Bryan Danielson, Swerve, Kenny Omega, Pac, Malachi Black, Kanosuke Takeshita, Bandito, Max Caster, Trent Beretta, Lee Moriarty, and Giant TV. That's a fire group of wrestlers right there. That would be really dope. So, boom. All right, man.
What do we got?
Quick sports check-in. Let's keep it quick.
Pistons week. That's all. Carry on. Lions are good, though.
Oh, man. Lions are good.
Lions are good.
Yo, for me, I don't care what anyone says. Josh Dobbs is already my favorite quarterback in like Vikings history. Outside of Dante Culpepper, this guy has been on the team 2 weeks. I don't know if so. It's been a minute. Okay, Kirk tore his Achilles. They traded for Josh Dobbs at the trade deadline. Jaron Hall, the rookie, was supposed to play, right? Josh Dobbs, Jaron Hall ends up getting his dome cracked and gets a concussion literally on his second possession of the game. Josh Dobbs has to play, and this guy had literally not even been on the team for he'd been on the team for like 3 days or something crazy. He didn't even take any reps in practice because they were trying to get Jaron Hall ready. This dude steps in the game. First possession, he gets a safety. The next possession, he throws an interception. So it's like looking like a disaster. What you would expect. The guy he doesn't even know the players' names, right?
Jesus Christ.
Then this guy comes in and balls out. Bruh, they beat the Falcons. Josh Dobbs is amazing. This dude doesn't know any of the plays, doesn't know any of the receivers' names, doesn't know anything. Then there's like these reports coming out that this dude, Kevin O'Connell, was in his headset and was like translating every play for him. So he's like, call this. Then while he's in the huddle, in the NFL, players have you can talk to the player till there's 15 seconds left on the play clock, then it just cuts off. So Kevin O'Connell's in the earpiece like, all right, call this. All right, Jordan Addison, he's number 3. He's going to run this. He's going to run a slant. You're going to have this here. And he's literally like translating the plays for him.
That's
and
crazy.
Josh Dobbs so he wins this game, right? Then obviously he gets named the starter. And then last week, man, they play the Saints. Saints are one of the best defenses in the league. They lead the league in takeaways, and this dude balls out again, and they beat the Saints. Josh
He had a
Dobbs.
touchdown drive too, a game-winning touchdown drive.
So
Or was that
he
the
had
first
that
game?
against the Falcons.
Okay.
This game, they were kind of dominating, and then the Saints came back a little bit, and they ended up winning. But Josh Dobbs I love this guy. I mean, it's such a cool story. This dude's a literal aerospace engineer, rocket scientist.
Love that.
He's black. He's super athletic. And there's people who are like, oh, he's been on so many teams for a reason. And I always say, first of all, he's only 28 years old. Second of all, like some quarterbacks, it is very situational. You can go to a bad situation, your career can be just done. You know what I mean? He's in a very good situation right now. He's got a genius offensive head coach. He's got incredible weapons. The Vikings have won 5 games in a row without Justin Jefferson, bro. He's been out on IR. You got Jordan Addison. You're gonna have Justin Jefferson coming back. You're gonna have You got T.J. Hockenson. You got one of the best offensive lines in the league. I think Josh Dobbs can be a franchise quarterback, bro. He's 28 years old, and you know what? I've seen him play, and he's a better athlete than I thought. He is like, I would honestly say, bro, that he's like a small step below Lamar Jackson. This dude is.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, he's so fast, and the thing that I like the most is he goes through his progressions in the pocket. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he hangs in the pocket and goes through his reads before he takes off or runs. But like, I love the fact it's like, bro, we've had Kirk Cousins for so long. It's been so long since there's been a mobile quarterback in Minnesota. Like, I just love it. It just changes so much. But Josh Dobbs, love it. I'm having fun with that. Warriors week. They got him. There's this crazy stat that's no one on the Warriors has scored 20 points all season other than Steph, and Steph has done it more than any player in the league this season.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. How has no one else scored at least 20 points? Then last game, Draymond Green submits Rudy Gobert with Samoa Joe's coquina clutch. Gets thrown out the game. Klay Thompson gets tossed. He shouldn't have got thrown out, but it's just weird. We're in disarray right now. All right, anyway, next subject. I want to talk about these Netflix. So what do you think about Netflix is doing these? They do these like super high quality. I wouldn't call them anime, but they're these adult animated shows, right? So first, they did the Witcher joint.
the Witcher anime.
So
I haven't watched. Is that out yet?
the one that's coming out.
Yeah,
I don't think it's out yet. There's one that came out a while ago, but
Okay.
they're doing another one. But that's like, again, I wouldn't call them anime. They're like these adult animated shows. And,
Yeah.
and
No,
then,
I'm very strict about the definition of anime. If it's
Yeah.
not Japanese, made in Japan by Japanese creators, to
Right.
me, it's not anime.
Right, same here. And like the Captain Laserhawk joint, which, oh my God, that is
Bro,
the craziest.
I told you
that is. I always say, like, Like Gurren Lagann is one of the craziest just shows that I've ever seen. Like this Captain Laserhawk show is maybe the wildest show I've ever seen in my life.
And if you're a Ubisoft fan, like every single character is like a cameo character.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So like the Marcus Holloway character, the black guy,
Yeah.
that was the lead character. This is like a alternate history, but it's like that was the future version of the lead character from Watch Dogs 2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bro, this show is so ridiculous. It had Rayman as a recurring character who snaps and goes on a murdering streak. And it makes sense in the context of the story. But just me saying that,
Dog, that
like
show
out of
is
context,
so weird. It is.
Yeah.
It is definitely crazy.
they had like evil Power Rangers on there or some
Bro.
shit, some weird ass.
That's crazy. And then of course the show that I've talked about a lot on the internet and that I have told you guys about in the Discord, Blue Eye Samurai, man. Like this is, I love this show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I normally don't like 3D animation, but the way that it's done in this show is it's like a mixture between the 3D and the 2D look. It almost reminds me of like a Disney animated movie, you know, that style. You know, somebody asked me to describe it, and I said, you know, it's almost like a mixture of Mulan, Kill Bill, and John Wick. You know what I mean, all together.
That's a good mixture.
Incredible. Mizu's the main character.
And Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, Mizu's the main character. Amazing. The story's really dope.
Dog, Mizu off top she skyrockets into the top 5 of like
man, 100%. She's off the chain.
Is
if you haven't watched, like,
she can hold her own, I think, with Mugen and Jin.
Oh, easy. If you haven't watched this show and you're listening to us talk, she's better than what you're thinking.
Yeah,
completely amazing, and I love a self-taught character too.
Yep.
Her story's really dope.
So hold on, real quick, super major spoiler alert. Just to give you a perspective of how cold she is. They introduced these main villains called the Four Fangs, and they introduced them as if they were like these were the motherfuckers right here. She washes all 4 of them by herself while she was in an extreme disadvantage.
Bro,
it makes it seem like she could have absolutely wiped the floor with him if it was on even footing. She did it anyways, but it could have been way easier.
Could have been easier and faster.
Yeah.
Like this is
like I really thought that the Four Fangs was gonna be the arc for the whole season.
Yeah. Nope.
She got rid of them niggas.
One episode.
And not, bro, like the last 5 minutes of one episode. It was crazy, bro.
Hey, man. So the story of Blue Eye Mizu she's this character, and she is a half white, half Japanese girl, and she basically, her mom was raped by some white European guy, and she, you know, she was treated as like a demon her whole life growing up because she was mixed, and she ends up this blind blacksmith takes her in, and she kind of,
she called that nigga the Sword Father.
Bro, Sword Father.
That's hard.
Oh my God, it's so good. And he kind of raises her, and she, you know, he doesn't train himself, but he has so many swordsmen come in because he's the GOAT sword maker, and she just kind of mimics people and watches them, and she ends up teaching herself. And when I say that she is,
she's a problem, bro.
she is so good, and this girl, and it just goes through her life and her backstory and the story of revenge. She wants to get revenge on the person that's her dad. You know what I mean? And it's just, and then the European men that came there, and it's just it's really, really, really good, man. It's a simple revenge story, but the way that it's done is super high quality. The character designs are all fire. The way they dress, the fight choreography, some of the best animated fight choreography I've ever seen. And Mizu is like, she's legit one of my favorite characters ever.
Yeah, she's good. She's
very
an awesome character.
Really,
She's flawed.
really,
she's flawed.
She's super flawed,
and like to the point where like some of the people in the show don't fuck with her.
Yeah,
like, it's like, bro, like,
yeah,
and it shows her growth and her like humanness.
Yeah, and she's also cutthroat. She is ruthless. Man, but so good. I can't talk about it enough. Like I said, this is literally one of my favorite shows ever, and this is one of my favorite characters ever. You guys have to watch.
Kimmy is a dope character. All of the characters.
All the characters are good, but him too. It's really good, man. You guys gotta watch it. So shout out.
Before we move off of this, I want to make another hot take that I've been cooking for a minute, and it's about a different character from a different show, but this reminded me of it. I'm not done with Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 yet. I'm only like 10 episodes in, but I'll finish it soon. But I will say,
which is fire, by the way.
It is good. It is good. I have to tell you, I don't think that I like this Gojo character the way that y'all hype. And we've already talked about this offline. We've talked about this. Here's the reason why, bro. Compared to a character like Mizu, who is flawed and like you can root for her, and has literally had to work,
scratch and claw for every inch of skill that she acquired. And this is one of those things where I really love the story of the self-taught person who, when they go out that first time, they usually almost die. You know what I mean? Because they realize like, oh no, this shit is hard. Wait a minute. Yeah. I have to reach another level because like this is way harder than I thought it was going to be.
So with Gojo, not only did he never have to work for anything, he was gifted with like literally infinite power. Yeah. Also, like, I don't think y'all realize the way that they created this character. It's almost like he's an unself-aware version of. He's like a unself-aware version of Saitama from One Punch Man. Whereas like Saitama is in on the joke and like the whole point is like, look at this overpowered character that we're making fun of. Whereas with Gojo, it's like, hey, let's like create the fucking coolest character possible, but do it seriously with like totally unironically, which is like, that's kind of whack to me, bro.
Yeah, and so I agree with what you're saying, and that's why I do like Gojo, but he's one of my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen characters, but he's not Maki. You guys know Maki's my favorite. Then I like Toji, and then he would maybe be like fourth, but but I do agree with what you're saying, and I think it's meant to be that, right? He's meant to be this character.
Bro, I don't think so though. I don't think he was meant to be like that. I do,
because I'm really far in the manga, and the story is full of these characters who are when you get a character like Maki, right? Maki is she has had to work extremely hard to have a place in the jujutsu world, and Gojo's literally this character who had nothing to do with his strength. He was literally born with these incredibly rare abilities, 6 eyes, and he's just this ever since he's been a kid. He's just
let me rephrase then. So sure, like it's supposed to be that. But I think that our fandom of him is like, I think we're missing the point of the character. Now, when I say I mean just like pop culture in general. I think we're missing the point of the character. Being like, I think that what the art of the character is attempting is falling flat.
He should be. People shouldn't. Are you saying that you don't think people should?
Like, if you're holding him up as like the coolest, best character ever, like you're missing the point of the character.
Because he is supposed to be like
he's supposed to represent like Superman.
Look at this guy who didn't work for anything that he has, but yet he gets to be, above everybody else in this
and he's
world.
Kind of an asshole,
right?
And it's like,
well, the thing about, I think the reason people like him is because he does care about the kids in the next generation, right? But he is.
Dog, you giving anime fans way too much credit. Niggas like him because he looks cool
and he's
strong as hell, and he be beating people's ass.
And he gets humbled in his younger years by
Toji.
Yeah. Which that's.
But only briefly, only for like one episode, and then he nope, I'm still gonna win.
But I hear what you're saying about Gojo. But Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 is really good, and it's only gonna get better. I'm telling you, man. The best stuff hasn't even happened yet. So
last thing I'll say about the Gojo discussion, and it's less about him, it's more about my reactions are almost never about the character. It's about how society interprets the character. My thing would be, if you tell me that your favorite anime character is Gojo, then I don't trust your opinions about anything.
Right.
Like, what are you, 7? Is your favorite superhero Superman and fucking Goku? Hey, I'm 12 and I just started watching anime. Like, no grown adult, in my opinion, should have such an unnuanced, like, palette for what they think is cool,
right?
To just land on, hey, just want the cool strong guy. Like, nah, man,
Right.
come on, let's
Like,
do some character development or something.
Man,
Who has like a dark fucked
who
up
can you
past
relate
or something?
to, man? You
Yeah,
know?
like who had to struggle, who had to get out of the mud, who was brutalized their whole life, like fucking Guts, and like that's why like adults are like, bro, Guts, man,
Dog,
like
facts,
because we've been through this shit,
on,
bro.
Man. Guts is, and when I say my guy can't, my guy can't win. It's heartbreaking, bro.
Like, I feel like this is an adult who like watches anime from an adult's perspective would appreciate Guts much more than like a character like Gojo.
Like Gojo, man. And the writer has even come out and said that he doesn't like he doesn't like Gojo himself. You know, so. But I agreed, man. You know, he just kind of represents that entitled, powerful character.
Like, he's the character that fucking Saitama is making fun of. Like, him and Goku specifically.
Yeah, literally. So, but he's the one that is the serious version, right?
Right, he's the one where it's like...
Not in on the joke.
Yeah, right, exactly, bro. Like, no, like, he's making fun of you, bro. Like, you.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, it's you are Saitama, except you don't know that you're Saitama.
Right. Nah, facts. I agree. Good take there. But speaking of some of these Netflix adult cartoons, and they do a lot of live action anime, and they're doing the live action Avatar show, which I saw the little teaser, and it actually looks amazing. And they're doing the live action Yu Yu Hakusho, which actually looks like it might be pretty good. Yep. So, how do you feel about the whole live action anime thing? And do we need it? Should they just stop? Or do you not mind it too much? Or do you think it's better as a series or as a show or as a movies?
I mean, I think you got to be careful which ones you pick.
Right.
I think. So I'll talk about one a little later. I think that most of them are bad. It seems like we found a good rhythm with. I don't like One Piece like that, but a lot of people really, really like the One Piece adaptation. So I think they're on the right track. I think you just gotta like stop casting white people as these Asian characters. Like, that's a good place to start. Right. That's why the Kenshin movies were so dope, because it was Japanese, and it's like, oh yeah, literally everybody in this show is Japanese because it's a Japanese story that happened in like the 1700s in Japan. So
the live action Kenshin movies are really good.
Yeah.
I want to say they're Korean. I'm not sure though. I'd have to look into that. But I know that sword, that like stunt work that they do in those movies is very specific, and it's cool. I love it.
Yeah.
But I've watched a couple other Korean action movies that kind of have a similar style in terms of the stunts and the fight scenes. But I think, you know, I'm not, like I said, I think a lot of them are bad. I think you're right. If you pick ones that, you know, there's obviously ones that could maybe be done and ones that probably shouldn't even be tried. Like, I don't think they should ever try to do a, you know, what's just a crazy,
Dragon Ball Z, which
like,
they fucking did already.
Yeah, like,
and
stop.
We see how that went.
Don't do that. But like when I think of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I think of just kind of, even if we're just keeping it up to like Dark Tournament arc, like, yeah, I can see how that could work. You know what I mean? If done well. So we'll see where it goes from here. But speaking of those, let's get into the top 5 of the day. Speaking of live action adaptations, books, cartoons, anime, whatever, just no comic book movies. We've talked about those a lot. Give me your top 5 favorite live action adaptations. It can be from a book. It can be from a cartoon. It can be an anime turned live action. Just no comic books, no comic book movies.
Boom.
What do you got?
All right, so I've remembered that books can be involved, and then that changed like my whole top 5. At first, I forgot about that. So I'm gonna give 2 honorable mentions. I had a bunch of honorable mentions, but I'm only gonna mention 2. One of them, bro, and I know we had a different opinion on this. I kind of thought that Cowboy Bebop show was not nearly as bad as people thought.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people shitted on it, and I said this before it dropped. Like, niggas is not about to get a shit a chance. It kind of doesn't matter, unfortunately, because Cowboy Bebop is so beloved. We're like,
I also think, I think it's really, it's such a dangerous, like,
if they had done a similar job with a show that was slightly less beloved, I guarantee you it would have been received better. Yeah. It wasn't perfect. It definitely had flaws, but I thought it was way better than I expected it to be. It was better than like,
you know what
it had any right to be, in my opinion.
You know what I think could be done live action in a similar vibe if they did that Cowboy Bebop show that I think could actually work is Outlaw Star.
That's a good
I
one.
think like a live action Outlaw Star. It's got like a really interesting cast too, where you could cast like multiple different, you know what I mean, people to.
Yeah. To the untrained eye, Outlaw Star is kind of poor man's Cowboy Bebop to begin with.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, they are different if you're really into it, but like to the initiate, it's a similar vibe for sure.
Yeah. Good show.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, watch Outlaw Star.
It has the greatest
ending theme
ever. I've sampled that same ending track like 100 different times, bro. Like so many different times.
Speaking of sampling, me and Hero got a new album coming out soon.
What do you think we've been working on all this time?
I won't say anything else.
Not that. We've been doing other stuff. So my other honorable mention is that Twisted Metal show, bro, on Peacock.
Oh,
that shit was good, bro.
You watched the whole thing?
Yes, it was hilarious. And
is
like,
there gonna be more? Or is okay.
It was funny as hell. It was like
Twisted Metal, dog.
Entertaining. I flat out fuck with that shit, bro. I was like, yo, I can't wait to watch the rest of this shit. This was really good.
I gotta watch it.
Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth was amazing. They should have let him do the voice.
Somebody else did his voice.
Yeah, they had Will Arnett, but Samoa Joe was good, man. Like he could have did the voice, I think. They had Will Arnett doing the voice. Anyways, all right. So, also a disclaimer here: I had to retire my number 1 because it's been at the top of so many different lists that I wanted to get some other shows in because I don't want to. This is gonna get predictable at some point, so I wanted to get another show in. So understand that my true number 1, my number 0. Is the 90s Ninja Turtle movie. Obviously. But
even though I view that more of a comic book, I know
that's the one I asked about.
Yeah, I know
right?
it was a cartoon. Yeah.
It was technically a comic book first, but I did ask the question. It came into popularity because
as the cartoon
in the toys in the 80s, right?
Facts.
So Turtles is my favorite live adaptation of something. So we're gonna wash that for now, though. So understand that it's there, but we're gonna exclude that. It's been retired.
Hey.
So here's my number 5, bro. From the book. Fuck. I remember the author's name, but I can't remember the book now. There's like 4 books, and they're all called something different. Fuck, let me just look it up. Damn it. I really thought I was gonna be able to recall that. Let's see.
Boom, 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 boom.
Caliban's War. Okay, the first one is Leviathan's Wakes, Caliban's War. Damn, it's like 8 books. Holy shit.
What are these?
So this is The Expanse.
Okay.
Which I would, now that you now that you have your sci-fi sea legs,
yes,
I'd recommend it.
Definitely do.
The Expanse is an amazing show on Amazon.
The Expanse.
Hard sci-fi, bro. Like
I'm gonna check it out.
It's really good. It's really, really good. So The Expanse, if you know, it's a really good show. Would recommend it. Number 4 is gonna surprise a lot of folks, bro. Because I have a love-hate relationship with this property because of how I don't think the books are written very well. And I think that the author was lying her ass off when she said she wasn't inspired by Battle Royale. The Hunger Games, not the first movie, the second movie, Hunger Games Catching Fire. That movie was actually fire. It was the best book and the best movie by far. But I kind of think the movies this is the one instance where the movies are better than the books because Suzanne Collins is the author. I really love it's like a 1 in a million like concept that was a mediocre book, right? Like I just don't think she's that good of a writer. So like the books were written poorly. But like the idea that she had was brilliant, right? But I also think like there's an interview. So the Hunger Games is very, very, very similar to the concept of it is very similar to an book / movie from Japan in the 90s called Battle Royale. Which have you actually seen that? I know you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. You told me about this before.
Yeah, basically Battle Royale. They basically find the worst class in Japan with like the most delinquents, and they like, all right, bro, y'all niggas not finna
fight
graduate.
to the death.
We finna take y'all to a desert island. They think they going on a trip. They take them to a desert island, strap bombs in their necks, and like, bro, like y'all niggas got to scrap, bro.
Yeah.
Until it ain't one of y'all. It's only one of y'all left. And so like the concept is like so close to Battle Royale that I'm like, bro, how can you? And then she went on an interview and straight up denied and said she never heard of Battle Royale. And it's just like, come on, girl. Like,
right.
You ain't gotta lie about the shit. Like, it's yeah. I fuck Battle Royale was dope. Yeah, I fuck with it. It was inspiration.
That's all you get. Just give it.
It's fine.
Right.
No, like, of course it was. Like, nobody's gonna be mad at you for it. Like, we all get inspired. But she, what's that about? Like, girl, bye.
I've never heard of that. What is that? What's Battle Royale?
That really turned me off. But anyways, that book was all right.
Nothing like the colonization of idea. Right?
Exactly. So, but the movie though, or the second Hunger Games,
of an entire civilization.
There you go.
People.
And your ideas.
And your ideas.
See, I know a lot of people didn't see this coming, but the second movie was actually really fire. Hunger Games Catching Fire, number 4.
Boom.
Number 3, The Foundation.
Hey.
Now I would recommend that being even before the Expanse.
What's The Foundation on?
The Foundation is on Apple TV.
Okay.
It's fucking Dune, bro. It's the book. It's coming from the book
that inspired Dune.
Wow. And
so
the world
when
is
this was written?
Like in 1950.
It has to be because Dune came out in like 1960.
Yeah, it can't. I think it's an Isaac Asimov book, series of books. I think the first one came out in like 1950 or like 1940 something.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's really old. But the show is like a loose adaptation. It's like it's the same world, but like they make a lot of changes. Like they gender swap a lot of folks, and they make it.
And this is called what again?
It's called Foundation.
And the other one is The Expanse.
Yes.
Okay.
I would put Foundation first because it really, I mean, if you like even the way that the world, like the way that Apple TV created the world, I mean, it's very clear that they were inspired by Dune, which was inspired
the way
by
that
Foundation.
Dune was done because it was made so well. Okay.
Yeah. It's really, really dope. And it's got 2 black women as the main characters, and they're both dope as fuck, man. Bro, Salvor Hardin is one of the hardest characters ever, bro. She's just
that name is fire.
Salvor Hardin, bro. Like,
wow.
She the kind of
Dune got some of the like most creative names and then some of the dumbest names.
Facts.
Like, dog, Duncan Idaho. I love him, but that is such a silly name. That sounds like a I don't know, like a potato salesman.
It's me, Duncan Idaho. Get your Wisconsin potatoes here.
I don't even know if potatoes are a thing in Wisconsin, but it just sounds like somebody from Wisconsin that sells potatoes.
Yeah, no, Salvor.
Hey, you left your when you were at the potato store, you left your wallet there.
Well, actually,
just bringing it back.
This character is this guy's father.
Well, actually,
back. I'm bringing it back to you.
BECK.
Right. Yeah, no, it's dope, man. Foundation is dope. Salvor Hardin is one of the coldest characters ever. She wants all this. She's like 18, or she might be a little older. She's like 20 something maybe, but she's already been like assigned to be the warden of her city. So she's just like got a gun and like is like the fucking sheriff, bro. Like,
yeah, check it out.
New sheriff in town. What the fuck y'all niggas getting into?
Well, I just typed in Foundation on YouTube, and there was a pretty intense fight scene that already came up. So
Yep, it's good.
Gonna have
and the
to
lore,
watch
bro.
it.
The lore is just juicy. It's just the best, bro. I'm a lore whore, bro, and it is. As my list goes higher and higher, the more lore becomes important. So that's not true because number 2 is The Last of Us, HBO.
Hey, was that really that good?
Yes.
Wow. Would you say it's the best video game adaptation of something
Without
ever?
question, and there's nobody close. Like,
whoa.
This was not a video game. It was like a good, like, there are tons of people who didn't even know this is a video game.
Yeah, you said that.
And we're just like, yo, this is just a good ass show. Yeah. Like, yo, like, nah, it's a video game, bro. Like,
play video games.
Right. You would have had this experience already. Like, it's great. Like, I don't even like zombies like that. And you know what? People were complaining because there was like not that many zombies in the show, and it was just like the people interacting. But my thing is, bro, like, the only reason why there were that many zombies in the game is because it's a fucking video game and you need to do something.
Right.
You need to, like, have a gameplay loop. But, like, that's not what the game...
play a video game.
Right. Like, you got to have the game wasn't about the fucking zombies. It was about what happened in the show, which is why it turned out so well. And also, the person who wrote the game also wrote the show. So, like...
Oh, that's good.
And they made a couple... The only things that they changed actually made a lot... They were, like, really... sensible changes. They weren't changes just hey, fuck off, I'm gonna just do something different now. It wasn't. They like made sense. And then number 1, if you've been paying attention, you should be able to guess. If I'm talking about books, it's gotta be Game of Thrones.
Hey.
Game of Thrones has probably the most. I already know you're thinking Dune, but I would recommend you hold this opinion until you read Game of Thrones. It has the most complete. Actually, no. Lord of the Rings first because it's just been out for so long.
It's just crazy how these people make, like, when you think of stuff like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Dune, even Star Wars. Like, these people are creating
universes,
entire universes with different races and houses and families and bloodlines, and then
each with their own histories.
And not even just the characters in those races and families and bloodlines, but they all have their own history and their own ancestry, and then they come from different planets, and then those planets have their own history and people that were there before they got there, and the relationships between the families and the houses, and there's the history there, and then these different characters, and then it's and then the worlds, and then there's, like, when you read the books, there's maps. These people are creating these worlds.
Hold on, bro. Listen, I don't want to hear it no more, bro. The way that you're describing this, you just need to fucking read Game of Thrones, bro. It's just Dune, except it's fucking medieval. It's the same thing. It's like literally the way you just described that. You could have been talking about Game of Thrones.
I got you.
It's the same, bro.
It's just crazy that there are human beings that create these huge things, man. That's insane. You know what I mean? And then it's like when you get familiar with it, and then you just hear a name drop, and you're like, oh man, that's the boom, and they boom, and it's a lot. Like, that's crazy that people can, and it's like, it's to be able to convey these things without there even being the adaptation of it yet, right? Imagine reading. I know you read. I don't know if you read Game of Thrones books before the show or after the show, but I
read them after.
But just in terms of, like, say you read Dune in the '60s and loved it, like, what? Like, how could you know what I'm saying? When there was nothing, when there was no movie, or you know what I mean? Like, that's
some
crazy.
People actually don't like that. I'm actually glad that I watched the show first.
No, I said that about Dune. Me too. Yeah. I don't think I would have been able to read it if I didn't have faces and things to reference.
If you had have read the book first, you might have found a way to hate the movie somehow.
That's facts.
Because that's usually the way it goes.
Yeah.
But the fact that I read the book first
I watched the show first.
Sorry, watch the show first. I was able to like put the characters in a world that
Dog,
like had context.
that matters, bro. Because
Yeah.
Dune is, man, like that's confusing. If you don't have, there's no way I'd have been able to enjoy it without a point of reference.
Boom.
Bang. All right, man, let's go. My favorite live action adaptations, top 5, kept it non-comic book. Let's go, man. Let's get right to it. Number 5 for me, I'm going to say the Kenshin live action movies, man. I think my favorite is probably the second one, the Kyoto Inferno. Fire.
It's awesome.
The way that they do the action in these movies were really kind of the new standard bearer of oh no, you can do live action anime, you know what I mean? It can be done. It
doesn't have to look stupid.
Because when these movies were coming out, it was definitely that time of don't ever do this ever again. Don't ever try this again. Stay away from it. You know what I mean?
Unless you're a fucking idiot and you want the fans to just rip you a new one.
But nah, these movies are fire. They're so good. The way that they found a way to nail Kenshin's fighting style in live action is insane. The speed, the quickness, the way they run, they do that low run on the ground where it's really, really dope. And then Shishio is phenomenal in the movies as well. They did a really good job with these movies. It's gonna be my number 5. My number 4, completely goofy, okay? Going back to the 90s, before we had the Kenshin, we had the Guyver movies, dog.
Hey.
And my favorite is the second one, the Guyver 2, Dark Hero. Terrible acting, yes. Campy, yes. Greatest, what's that called? What would you call that? Like the Super Sentai type of in the suits.
Super Sentai, yep.
Best fighting you will ever see in something like that. I mean, these fight scenes, the people in the Guyver suits, it's incredible. Holds up. Definitely was a worthy manga, anime, live action adaptation in the 90s before we started getting more in the later years. Love the old Guyver movies.
Shout out to the Kamen Rider stuff too.
Yes. Oh, that new Kamen Rider movie. Have you seen it?
No,
I haven't
but
seen it.
It looked. I've
Shin Kamen Rider.
I heard it was
watch
really good.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. That actually came out when I was in Japan, and it was like it was like posters everywhere. I should have saw it when I was out there, but I didn't. But yeah, man, Guyver, Dark Hero, number 4. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Fellowship of the Ring. It's the first Lord of the Rings movie. Love it. I read the Lord of the Rings books when I was in school, and I told you I kind of had that thing where, the movie came out, and I was just like, dang, none of these dudes are black. You know what I'm saying? But I do love Lord of the Rings. Fellowship was my favorite book, and it's my favorite movie out of if I had to pick out of all of them. So, Fellowship of the Ring, number 3. Number 2, let's go with the manga adaptation, man. I'm gonna go with Lone Wolf and Cub films, dog. Let's go. I love Lone Wolf and Cub. The manga, it was originally a manga first, man, and they made the films in the 70s, and the movies are amazing. I love them. I talked about them on here when I was watching them in real time. Shout out to Josh. He kind of put me on the Lone Wolf and Cub stuff. My favorite one is the 4th one, Baby Card Peril, but I do love all of them. Sword of Vengeance is the first one. It's amazing. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna cheat and say all the Lone Wolf and Cub films in general. And my number 1 sci-fi, let's go, Dune. My favorite live action adaptation comes from a book. I've read the first 2 Dune. You know what? I read the first Dune and Dune Messiah. I don't know if I can go on, dog.
Why you say?
It really gets
sweaty.
It's not even that. It gets. It's almost so. I would Dune and Dune Messiah are definitely the Paul Atreides arc, and I would just say that. I'm not going to spoil it because I know you are also into Dune, but just when you realize because remember we talked. I don't think we talked about this on there. I think we talked about this just as conversating when we were working on music a couple of days ago. But it takes a while to see like what's the message behind Dune? What's the, you know what I mean? What's the theme? What's the social theme here? What do we, you know what I mean? Once you finally get there, your expectations of the story kind of change a little bit. And although I would say that the story I would say that it probably would be something that is on par with what you're expecting now once you realize what that theme is. But I will say that it might be worse than what you know what I mean? Like it's once you get the theme, it's in line with what you're expecting, but kind of like maybe a little more extreme than what you were thinking. But I love Dune. Shout out to Dune. It's my number one. Love the movie. Cannot wait for part 2, man. Let's
What is it?
go.
Spring?
I think it comes out in March. It was supposed to come out like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I can't wait.
I think it was actually supposed to come out like tomorrow.
Yeah, something like that.
Like the 17th, I think.
I can't wait. Oh my gosh, my birthday is tomorrow, the 16th. So when
shit.
this episode comes out, it'll be my birthday. So
All right.
nope.
He's got, yeah, see.
Nope. Anyway,
I wasn't even gonna say nothing, bro.
Anyway, but I can't wait for this new Dune movie to come out. I will say this. I think that Denis Villeneuve, what he does really good with the Dune film is Dune is, man, it's like you just said about Game of Thrones. Dune is super sweaty, man. So a lot of the action kind of happens. Remember we talked about how a lot of action happens off screen, where they kind of reference it and it happens, but they don't go into great detail. So the film does a really good job of highlighting the action stuff. So I'm excited to see it. But that's my top 5 favorites. Live action adaptations, the Kitchen films, Guyver 2 Dark Hero, Fellowship of the Ring, Lone Wolf and Cub films, and Dune. No comic book stuff. Boom. Episode 169 in the books.
Boom.
Appreciate y'all listening. We'll be back next week. And Hero has a project coming out with Isaac Castor.
I forgot about that.
When's that coming out?
Shout out to the homie Isaac Castor. We finished a couple of weeks ago a project called Algorithm and Blues.
Boom.
It's a nice little short 6-track EP, all slappers.
Slappers. Meat.
Right.
Meat.
All good. Noveliss has a feature that's actually already out called Zap Zone.
Zap Zone.
It's fire, bro. So please check us out. The album is coming out on November 24th. That's in like 9 days.
Shit.
It's good. It's good.
Yes, sir. Ooh, I'm tired.
Right.
But yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all check out Algorithm and Blues when it drops on the 24th. I am on that project. The song that I'm on is out right now. It's one of my favorite verses, man. It's
talking shit on
make
there.
sure you guys check it out. And like I said earlier, yes, me and Hero do have a project coming out in the foreseeable future.
Yes.
Sooner than you think. But not as imminent as you might think.
Right.
I don't know. But appreciate y'all listening. Peace.